Hey,
Squirrel! Tilray! Canopy! Australis! Juju! What are we doing, Ed? What are we doing? Buy, sell, buy, sell.
I paid $16 for Australis.
Well, Australis opens at 10, shoots up to 16, drops back to 3, now it's at 4. What the hell's going on? Volatility is the order of the day. Canopy over $70, Tilray at $2.67. What the fuck is going on? Seriously, really, people, this is not normal. This is not normal.
You want to turn it on?
Anyways, we have a great show today.
We have a great show.
We have Upside Down Microphone Day. There, how about that, Ed? Everything today is going to be upside down.
You know what? We could stand on our heads.
Nope. He's drinking your water upside down. He's not going to have the hiccups, that's for sure.
What? Come on.
Oh boy, we're going to have some fun today. We got, what do you mean? What's the brown?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like his brains are oozing out.
Yeah. That's what water does to limestone.
Whose water is this? This isn't my water. This is from the last show.
Yeah.
We have a great show today. We have
That's
Ryan Brown
water.
from, oh no, that's from the previous show. We don't have Ryan Brown. We had Ryan Brown. We have Tyler Robson from Valens GroWorks, VGW on the CSE today. We have Cory Corrubia. Cory Corrubia is the CEO of the Weekend Unlimited, which is the latest iteration in a long chain of successful cannabis deals from the Stadnik Corp.
Are you, you're heading into Jamaica land?
I'm going to Jamaica, man, tomorrow, man, because I am going to find out. I'm going to go see the Weekend's Jamaican operation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to communicate with you from the operation
look
while
at this.
sampling the product.
Afria is now down $1.40.
You got attention span issues there, do you, Edward?
Okay. I'm mesmerized by the action here.
Mesmerized by the action. Well, who can't be mesmerized by this action? It's absolutely lunacy what's going on. Absolute lunacy.
Yeah.
You know, I started writing an article today, which I'm going to publish tomorrow maybe, if I ever get some time. But Tilray at 267, Canopy at 70 plus. Which one is value, which one is hype? Your assessment there, Mr. Milewski?
Maybe there's a, you know what? I mean, look. There's probably an element of hype in both of them.
So if you were to...
I mean, I'm not saying that Canopy is a real company, but is it maybe a little bit overvalued here? Maybe.
Well, consider this. This is what I think most people... I think the people who are pushing Tilray to 267 and still buying Canopy, here's the thought. At the end of the last ice age, when man transformed from being hunter-gatherer, predatory, into agronomist stationary, they were growing cannabis.
Yeah.
Cannabis provided oil, fiber, food, medicine, spiritual communion.
Right.
And
sure,
all of those things are now coming back. It's like a fashion trend. It's coming back into style. And if you think about it, like unlike alcohol, which, you know, a percentage of the population uses and a percentage does not and abstains, and so they have zero relationship with alcohol, there is a situation evolving here where every single human being on the planet could have cannabinoids in their universe for some purpose. The homeostatic effect of just wellness.
Right.
The medicinal effect on everything from swelling to cancer to tumors to epilepsy. The cosmetic effect of just cannabis oils, the lubricating effect, the fiber effect, all these things are coming back because the suppressing influence of the big industry that suppressed cannabis in the first place is now being defeated by the popular will as reflected in political evolution. So I think that is Canopy worth $32 billion plus if you consider if everything was executed that they have underway? Is it worth $32 billion? I think it's worth a lot more. And that's why I think Tilray even at its crazy valuation, now that's a very small portion of the shares being represented in that valuation.
There goes Juju at 28.5.
Yeah, so Juju's Juju's taking it on the chin today a bit.
Yeah.
I'm still long the Juju. I actually would probably start buying it again as soon as it stops looking so weak.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I will say though, you know, when you say everybody on the planet can use some aspect of the hemp plant or whatever what do you want to call it, cannabis.
Well, hemp plant is a good case in point. People,
no, sure.
A lot of people
Except
don't really.
There are still how many, 1 billion or 2 billion people that have a hard time getting water in a day. Like they're going to want water first.
Well, maybe, especially if they start.
Well, especially if they have no money. How are you going to buy the hemp if you don't?
Well, if you start smoking cannabis, you're really going to need some water because one of the side effects is a dry mouth. And they haven't been able to breed that out of it yet.
Well, there's no question. And listen. There's no question. You know, you talk about the overall health benefits. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so
it's good. But I mean, it's crazy. I mean, don't you feel like you can't help but feel like you're missing something, and yet I'm seeing stocks come by here. It looks like there's been a big correction here today.
What do you mean? Well, some stocks are participating in the irrational exuberance to the upside, and what's happening is there's so much frothiness in the market that guys are going, and girls are going, what can I sell that's not moving so that I can buy something that is moving?
Yeah.
And try to get in front of that wave. Like, I mean, I have not been able to bring myself to pull the trigger on Tilray. Have you? You own Tilray. and in true Ed Milewski style, you bought high and sold lower.
Yeah, well, you know what? I bought it because I thought, you know, this thing will keep going, but it had a pullback. After it came out, shot up to 30, it pulled back. I thought I'd step in at 26, and I think I liquidated at 23. You know, it's not easy to say that in public, on a public...
It's not easy to admit defeat, is it?
But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not trying to...
Impress anybody?
Yeah, what the hell? At the end of the day, look at this. Tilray's only up $111 today.
Yeah.
Should have bought 300 shares yesterday.
Yeah.
Should have bought, coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, that's pretty much the
At
story
$26, it's now $260. What's 10 times 20? That's 10 times your money right there.
AUSA is at $3.98 now. Looks like the bottom for this stock today looks to be about $4.
The bottom was $290.
Well, it actually got down to
$290, I think.
Yeah, did it? Yeah, $290. $290 was the low.
And you got to ask yourself, like, I mean, look, how much lower? Couldn't this thing pop back to 6 or 7?
Well, that's a good question. You know, so its premium should be based on a subset of what Aurora cannabis is worth, right? Because it's essentially a company that will be owned at least 40% by Aurora at some point when cannabis is federally legal in the United States.
So Aurora is the biggest shareholder?
Well, technically no, but Aurora shareholders are the biggest group. Because
So did anybody pay to get those shares, or did everybody get them for free?
No, they did a financing. Aurora's financing was, I think they did $15 million at 7. Let's just figure that out. Aurora, or no?
I feel bad for our buddy here. He's looking
a little bedraggled.
He looks like he's got brain pus coming out of his
Brain pus. He's looking pretty.
Yeah, you know, when you got brain pus coming out of your head, you got some problems. My advice is, if you got brain pus coming out of your head, head down to emergency.
It's probably good advice.
What do you think?
That's good advice.
Maybe we should get into more of the health aspects of. See, on this show, we talk about the health benefits of cannabis.
Here it is. They raised. Well, that's another show. Believe it or not, that's another show. So, Aurora raised $17 million at. Where is it? Oversubscribed private placement. Prospectus dated February 14th. What was the price? That's what we're trying to figure out. Here's the price. CSE listing, record date. Oh my gosh, where is the price on this?
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to find the price. Oh, there it is, 25 cents a share. Oh, sorry. For every 34 Aurora shares you held, if you're a Canadian resident, you receive 1 Australis share for free.
Okay.
Then they raised $17 million by issuing
100 million shares?
85 million shares at 20 cents per share. So at, if you're wondering why it dropped from 16 bucks to 3,
yeah.
The reality is there's 85 million shares coming in 4 months that have a cost basis of 20 cents. So where do you think that stock's going to go, Ed? Do you think the closer it gets to 4 months plus a day, the closer it's going to get to 20 cents?
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Well, how did it get to 16?
Looks to me like they started it too high. Like somebody, you know, placed an order and
yeah, there's Ian going by at 8:08.
Yeah, but it looks like the market's in a bit of a corrective phase right now because everything's dropping.
Yeah, but and yet I saw Tilray still at 263.
Okay, you know what? The only way to get a big look on that market is to pull up our beloved indexes. Oh wait, I bet you that I don't have my NDI up. And Fraser's in there shaking his head going, James doesn't put up his NDI. We're not going to be able to see his screen.
Ben Smith, senior writer of Midas Letter, said that Tilray is halted.
Tilray is halted.
According to Ben.
Oh, Ben Smith, our senior writer at Midas Letter, has just advised that Tilray has been halted. That's interesting. Let's see if we can figure out why that is.
Maybe someone's taking it over. I say that with a little tongue in cheek.
Tilray stock has resumed trading. What? 6 minutes ago. Tilray shares have resumed trading after being temporarily halted on the NASDAQ after the stock jumped more than 90% intraday Wednesday, September 19th. That's today. Interesting. So the stock is, well, you know that they will. We had that happen in Canada, remember, in November 2017.
Yeah.
The stocks, all the cannabis sector took off, and the market stepped in, and the regulator stepped in and halted it 5 times and that took the wind out of the sails. So I think
there's these what do they call these things?
Circuit breaker.
That's the word.
Circuit breaker.
I was going to say trigger.
Time to trip the circuit breaker.
Trip
the breaker. Camp down, race it, down, doo-da, doo-da.
Camp down, baby.
Do-da-do-da-day.
You don't even know. You don't have to know the words. You just have to know the.
That's right, humming.
Yeah. The Bay.
Holiday.
Bay Street.
Tomorrow. Bay Street, Sesame Street.
Jesus. Jesus Cristo.
So let's see. Let's take a look at.
Wow. Well, let's see where the let's look at some of the. Let's see where the action is today here.
Well, what I want to do, if it's okay with you, Ed, is I want to watch real-time Tilray now that it's back trading. TLRY, there it is.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
253.10.
Uh-oh.
254. 255. 254. Look at her go.
Yeah,
look at her go. 255. It's still up 64.7% on the day. So, yeah.
Okay, so 255 to 250. Okay. So that's the bid and ask that's actually live right there, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, up $100, no problem.
You could get seasick watching that. Whew. Look at that sucker trade.
Look at this. Yeah, the appetite here is.
It's incredible.
But you know what? But as you pointed out earlier, which is really interesting.
How small the lots are.
Look at all 100 here. Now here's a big one here, 600.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this.
That's why, you know what's driving this market, Ed? Robots.
You know what? You know that
algorithms.
Song, the boardwalk? You might say.
On the boardwalk.
Board lot.
Board lot.
Woo! On the board lot. Board lot.
Board lot.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that thing go.
Okay, look at that thing go.
Look at that thing go. Look at it.
What is it at, 260
But look at the size. 5 shares, 10 shares, 2 shares. I just saw one go by 2 shares.
No. They'll trade it. Yeah, look at this. This is 258 now, 261.
It's like it's
So
trading.
just so I'm on the same page here with you, my friend, are you saying this is the bid ask right here? Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Okay.
Under bid,
Okay,
that's the bid.
okay.
Under ask, that's the
Well,
ask.
so where it says bid, that's the bid?
261.96. Let's call him 263. See, you know what? These are algos out of control.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of little black boxes here, aren't there?
Well, look at this. 1 share, 4 shares. I think something's wrong with this exchange, really. I think Tilray has broken the exchange. You know, here's the interesting thing.
You've heard of breaking the bank?
Yeah.
They broke the exchange.
Well, they broke the exchange. And you know what's interesting is that...
So there's guys downstairs right now at we're in the TSX building, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're losing their minds.
Well, you know what? This is interesting because Tilray is going to need to raise capital. Tilray needs to make acquisitions. If you were a company CEO, would you even consider taking a stock this volatile in exchange for your company? No, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd be like, I'm going to wait till this thing slows down a bit. If they come to you and they want to raise money, are you going to write a check and say, hey, well, just a second here. The price right now is
$250.
$250. So quick, write me a check at $240 a share.
Quick.
Before it goes up or down.
Okay, look at this.
So my point is that Tilray is being paralyzed by this. Tilray can't make a move. Tilray cannot raise money. Tilray cannot make acquisitions. As long as this stock is this volatile, it is paralyzed. And that's
yeah,
just
you know,
the bottom line.
CRON was just $19 a while ago. Now it's $16.40.
Yeah. No, the
Whoa.
the volatility in this sector is just insane. So let's stop looking at Tilray for a second.
Okay, let's look at...
Let's look at AUSA here. Look at that. In comparison, this is a sleepy little backwater river just quietly trading its way down.
Down the river.
Somewhere down this lazy river. Somewhere down the lazy river. Come on, Ed, you got to be my doo-wop girl. Anyways.
Doo-wop, pop-pop.
So we talked to Tyler Robson, from Valens GroWorks, trading on the CSE under the symbol BGW, and here is what he had to say. Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest in this segment is Tyler Robson, CEO of Valens GroWorks Corp, and it trades on the CSE under the symbol BGW. Tyler, welcome back.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you closed a bought deal for $25 million.
We did, yeah. We closed just the other day.
Okay, tell me, how did that come about? What's the purpose? And what are you going to use the funds for?
Yeah, I think the purpose is just for corporate expansion. I think it's kind of our coming out party. We're getting closer to legalization, and we've had a few offers for financing right now. We finally found the right one, so we took the bought deal. And it's for expansion. Yeah, we're going to get more into extraction, more into distillates, and more into refined products. And one big thing we're going to look at is beverages. We're being a little bit quiet about what we're doing behind the scenes. Right. But at the end of every beverage, or the beginning of every beverage story, is an extraction. So we think we figured it out a little bit better than most people have.
So you've been focused on extraction since the get-go.
Yep.
But now you also are a licensed grower.
Yep.
So you can grow, you can extract, you can make beverages.
Yeah.
Have you had any conversations with any big beverage manufacturers?
We've been talking to a few, and I think the big thing that people are missing right now is the ability to extract in volume. So some of the beverage companies are starting to place phone calls and start kicking the tires of who we are and what we're doing. Obviously, we're not the big players like some of these other guys are, but I think we're still undervalued for what we are today.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's, I think, probably an attractive feature, is that you're still reasonably priced. You're not Tilray, which is, circulating out there in the stratosphere.
For sure.
So what else has been happening with the company generally developmentally in the last couple of months?
Yeah, so we're basically laying out our international distribution plan right now. So we've signed a letter of intent in South America. We just signed one in Australia, and I think our shareholders can look forward to seeing what's coming in the European Union in the next foreseeable future.
And what is coming in the European Union?
I think, as everyone knows, that there's a massive opportunity over there, so we're looking at it. I can't touch on it too much more because we're still laying it out, but we will definitely have a footprint and a big what do I want to call it? Distribution plan, we'll call it.
Great. Is legalization in Europe progressing similarly to Canada at all in terms of recreational?
I wouldn't say it's recreational yet, but I think it's definitely happening medicinally. I think if we look at every country over there, they're going to implement a medical program in the near future. But right now, I don't think anyone's moving towards recreation like we are.
Okay. Run me through your capacity, again, your throughput capacity?
So our throughput capacity right now is 6,500 kilograms. We're in the process of getting it up to 12,000 kilograms. We've already placed orders for our next machines. And what's unique about us is we actually use different machines for different types of extraction. So we truly believe that it's a unique extraction process depending on the type of product you're going to, whether it's ethanol, subcritical, or supercritical CO2.
So when you say different processes for different products, you mean the micro CBD sort of spectrum?
Everything, every ancillary product. So we have a different direction to go to the downstream product, essentially. So we're not trying to make everything out of one type of extraction. We're very, very unique in that way.
And how do you see the economics working in terms of margin and cost of raw material?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a commodity. It's going to commoditize, prices are going to come down, and I think the farmers are going to be it's going to be tough for them to basically compete. Downstream, at the end of the day, this is a consumer product. You walk into a liquor store, you're buying brands, not hops or sugar cane. So I think really the value add is in extraction, post-processing, and then branded products.
I'm curious about some of the other sort of processes involved in making a beverage derived from cannabis. For example, we know that THC and CBDs, if left on the shelf, sort of deteriorate into other compounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so how do you stabilize THC and CBD in a product like a alcoholic beverage?
Yeah, so that's the magic question right now, and I truly don't think anyone has figured it out. We're getting very, very close to becoming a player in that sector. The big thing a lot of people don't realize, it has to be water soluble. So a lot of companies are making it an oil-based. That will separate in time, and like you said, it will change. You have to have a water soluble product that can bind with anything, and I think we're right there.
Okay, so there is nobody who's actually definitively solved that problem.
I personally don't believe so. I know depending on who you talk to, I'm sure there's a few guys that'll say they will.
Right.
I have not seen it, and I've been in the majority of major LPs already.
Okay, you said you were producing 6,500 and you're going to 12,000 kilograms. In what time frame are we talking?
End of October.
Okay,
yeah,
and
so
what, I'm more or less trying to get at, is that per month, per year?
Per month, yeah, per month, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we plan on having the largest extraction footprint in Canada, if not North America, in the foreseeable future.
Okay, so if you're doing 12,000 kilograms per month, how much end product is that yielding?
That's impossible to answer. At the end of the day, it's subjective to cannabinoid or THC profile. So if you have a 20% product, it's very different than extracting a 10% product. So it's almost impossible to answer that question until you know what's going into extraction.
So what's going in and what you're targeting coming out has a bearing on what you get.
Exactly, yeah.
So has there been an evolution in the marketplace yet where certain CBDs, micro CBDs, are developing a market or a value that's higher than others?
It is. It's starting to, and to be honest, it's very unique, and people are having a hard time separating different cannabinoids. But absolutely, as we move more into a pharmaceutical product or an ingredient for pharmaceutical products, that's going to become much more needed, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see this sort of becoming, in terms of extraction and consumer packaged goods, from where you stand, do you see it becoming more of a sort of large beverage and food group industry, or more of a pharmaceutical industry?
I think it's going to go down both avenues, essentially. I don't think you can pick one more than the other. I think if we look at the mature markets in the United States, California, Washington, Oregon, they've done a great job kind of showing us the path of what's happening. But at the end of the day, too, if you look at an international market, everything starts with a pharmaceutical or medical grade product. So I think there's two very different avenues coming.
So in terms of competition, is this something that somebody, like say a Coca-Cola, decided to get into the game and ramp up extraction and beverage production?
Yeah.
Is it something that a big company like that could easily do, or would they be more inclined, do you think, to talk to somebody who's already been doing it?
I think they'd have to be inclined, and if they weren't, I think they'd be selling themselves short. Extraction is extremely tough. I personally can't do it, but our team over at Valens is fantastic. Their efficiency rates are phenomenal. Their consistency is perfect. I think people getting into the space now are very far behind. Essentially, like you said, we've been focused on extraction since day one, and we're still working on it.
Sure. Okay, so what are the big value catalysts for Valens Grow going into the next 12 months?
The big catalyst is obviously our last licensed producer status. Obviously, when concentrates and edibles and beverages come online is a huge one for us, especially because where we are. Also getting a footprint out east, I think that's big for us to service the market here. And we, I can't say too much more on that because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but we will be bringing a footprint to the Ontario area.
Very cool. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now, and we'll come back to you in a quarter's time and see how you progress. Thanks for joining me today.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Thanks, James.
We're back. We're back.
There you have it, Ed.
We back.
The
Well,
land
you know what?
of-
It actually shows it printed at 300 Tilray. Tilray?
Valens GroWorks.
What's so damn funny back there?
Valens GroWorks was the recipient of a $4.50 price target in the Mackey Research Report, and
Yes.
they just closed that $25 million financing. So Valens Grow is off to the races. I want to draw your attention to the chart here.
Okay, let's take a look.
I want to talk about you've seen the giant reversal that's now seized hold of the cannabis space in the markets. I'm going to point out this date back here. See it way down there, over there on the left, Monday, November 2.
Yeah.
There it was. Tuesday, November 3rd.
2015.
And then this day here, oh, where is it? I can't quite get it. There. That day right there.
Geez, you know, when you look at this chart over here,
Friday,
there's a
November
$10
6th.
swing in the price today. You cannot even see it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Friday, November 6th. Why is that index there? This is the weed price of canopy growth was 318 on let's see. Oh shoot, it's not letting me do that because that stupid thing is in the way. I have to go to the 5-year look. So here's canopy growth chart. Oh, now it's not showing it properly. Oh yeah, okay. So this spot right here, see that? This was when the stocks took off like this. All of the cannabis stocks were doing it. There was only about 5 of them at the time trading.
Right.
And the exchange stepped in and pulled the circuit breaker, and 5 different times during this day until the market retreated. And once the market retreated, the regulators stepped out of the market. Now we've just seen today the regulators step in front of Tilray and pull the red switch, and Tilray has now
Collapsed.
well, it hasn't collapsed.
It's only up $70. It's hardly worth mentioning.
Well, compared to this morning. But that's my point.
Don't you feel kind of funny? Like, don't you feel like the word is eviscerated to some degree? Don't you feel
Eviscerated?
You know,
I do not feel eviscerated.
You know the word eeviscerate? You know what it actually
sure
means?
do.
You know, it means to remove the entrails.
Yeah.
I feel like someone's moved my. I know. I feel like I don't know what to do. Well, you know what I think I should do then? I should drink some brain pus.
Everybody's brain pus. Everybody's obviously getting away out of the way of this falling market. So this is the thing. The regulator steps in. That's the only thing that is going to interrupt algorithmic insanity, such as that has been driving Tilray incrementally higher. So all these companies that are out there scalping half pennies and quarter pennies off of existing trades, like I think that Tilray's
look at Africa down at
$1.77.
What the hell's going on there?
Yeah,
but
well,
you know what? You know what? A lot of these cases, if you look at, like, let's take a look at Africa. I think Africa went from 22 to 16, back to 22. I don't want to bring up the old double top card here, but it looks
there's
like
Africa.
Yeah, look at that. There's a potential double top. Of course, we saw a potential double top here. That didn't hold, did it?
Well, you know what I think about technical analysis.
Yeah. And the more I talk, the more you think it, right?
Well,
just saying. Just saying.
It's just the most effective way I've ever seen to predict the past.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. It's insane. Well, so Afria has been up to $24 here, almost. No, let's see. On Wednesday, that's today. Is today Wednesday? Yes, today's Wednesday. So today it's been as high as 2037, or no, 2070. Oh, sorry, 2046, 2146. That's insanity.
That's all, folks.
It just doesn't seem like it's going to end. Let's take a look at our...
well, it's going to end. There's no question it's going to end.
Well, I don't know.
Well, let's go back to, let's take a look at...
A thing is only a cycle until the cycle is broken. Would you agree with that statement?
A thing is only a cycle.
A cycle is only a cycle.
A bike is a cycle.
So is a uni. You've had
by being 2, uni being 1.
Bi.
How about
being
quadricycle?
The opposite of cell.
Could that be a car?
Sure, a quadricept.
How about a tricycle?
How about a quadruped?
Tricycle.
Tricycle.
Three-wheeled cycle.
Oh, now you're
Jesus.
just getting crazy. But look at this.
Look at this.
2.19% is how much we're up on the Midas Letter Large Cap Cannabis Index.
Let's
take a look
I
at
see
what-
red. I see red.
Yeah, and everything's turned red on the smaller
Oh,
indexes.
look, and now this is red.
Look at this. So Organigram's down 8.5% to $7. Hexo's lost 7.79%. It's down to 8.05. Oxley's down to $1.20, having lost 6.2%.
Yeah.
A Free is off 5.4%. It's turned into a bloodbath. Exuberance has become.
Aurora's at 1066.
That's delayed. That's delayed. Well, I got to tell you, you know, anybody that's raising money here, you want to get that money in the door, because if you don't,
Well, I think you want to put that another way. If you were raising money, you should. I hope you got it in the door, because the market just ended. Can you imagine if we actually were watching the market and this is the flip and this is the big sell-off that we know is coming in our heart of hearts, in our deepest bones, in our.
you know, it always comes to an end, doesn't it? Like, no matter how crazy it is.
Okay, but why?
Why now?
Why? Well, why not now?
Why not now?
Okay, actually, so these are delayed. We have to go to the live look, and let's look at the ML Midas Letter Large Cap Index in the 1 day time frame. There it is. There's the reversal. Okay.
Something happened right there.
Well, interestingly enough, this is where the Tilray
Got halted.
halted. So that the flip, well, back here,
Yeah.
2:02 Eastern Time is where it kind of started to head downward. And then it had several successive things down, but it really dropped when Tilray got halted. So now if we pull up Tilray, TLRY, and inside the single day, like, okay, so there's Tilray getting halted. There's it resuming. And now it's abandoned ship mode. It's down to 170. What?
What?
It's down to 174. It's just plummeting. This is the real time look, people. So this is it. Ed,
Katie bar the door.
this is
Okay,
the,
so
this
we
is the flip.
saw 300. Here it is, right here. 300.
Touch 300. Flip the trap market
300,
breaker.
and now 168. So let's say you went in here and said, you know what, I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to buy 100 shares at 300. And now you're thinking, you know what? Second thought,
Right.
I'm going to get out of this.
I think I'll get out of this. I'm going to go into mining. I'm going to buy some mining stock.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The game she be over. Could have
Well,
bought some puts there.
Well, but how would you know to buy
Tilray's
puts?
now up $13 on the day.
What kind of clown would write a put at 250 with that kind of exuberance, unless you knew it was going to trip the circuit breaker at 300? See,
Well, you know what? But at the time, look at this. This is
look at Valens grows. Everything's down now. Let's go to the portfolio manager look on this thing.
portfolio manager.
And this gives us the look at all of the stocks in the large cap portfolio with a few other ones. Actually, I need to get rid of these mining stocks because.
Yeah, they may be going up. We don't want to have any.
That's right.
any
We don't
winners.
want anything clouding our
Look,
judgment.
Gold's up.
Yeah, gold's up a penny because the mining market sold, or because the cannabis market sold off. So look, here's all the large caps in here. Kronos is, now here's the funny thing, Kronos is bucking the trend and going up. T-God is still in an upward trajectory, still up 4.28%. Wow, look at that. Tilray is now looking at a loss of 17.6% on the day. It was up 90%, now it's lost 17%. And why? Because the regulator had to flip the circuit breaker. Now, this is the thing. I think that
No, wait a minute. Tilray still shows on this thing up 8%. But you know what? Let's face it. The markets are in fast mode, so they're jumping around.
Well, that's just it. It's actually Oh, okay. So wait a
So
second.
Juju's still at 28 cents. Yesterday would have been a good day to sell some. Now, I bet you tomorrow it comes roaring back. If it gets any lower, it's probably a buy.
Well, let's see what's happening on the CSE, because that'll be fun.
Yeah, let's see what the, let's see.
Let's see the CSE. Look at that. Is that enough red for you? Is that enough red for you, Ed? Red, Ed. Ed, red.
Ed red.
Ed C,
There's
red.
Reddit.
Okay, so
And
this
then
is...
there's edit. Party hard. I'll tell you.
Okay, let's
Look
reorganize
at
this
Chronos,
list.
only down from 19. Wow.
There's a few companies that are up. Look at our friends at High Hampton are up a few pennies today, up 9% to 54 cents. Look at that.
Wow, what a day to...
Tough Ventures
Look
up
at that.
5 cents, 6.85%, 78 cents.
I bet you that...
Ravens Quest Biomedical up
that
3 cents.
AUSA is probably getting smoked.
And even Blow.
Blow?
Blow? Do you want some Blow, Ed?
How about some Blowfish?
Why don't you get some Blow?
Yeah, you know what? I don't drink anymore.
No, I'm talking about the stock, Edward.
Buy some Blow.
Buy some Blow.
Hey, you got any Blow? I told you never to call me and ask me that. I meant the stock. Jesus.
Well, that's just, but look at that. It's now like there's 5 companies that are showing up.
I noticed, by the way, just saying, I noticed that
Let's go look at the other index.
Huge was halted. Did it come back? Can you?
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. But right now we're looking at the
or not right
venture.
now.
So these are the venture stocks. So Chronos is still listed on the venture.
Yeah.
CZO is which? Why don't we see the names of these?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So just incredible. That's, well, you know, now it's bouncing again because look, we're starting to get more green ones in the Canadian venture. Let's go look at the large cap again.
Well, they'll only go so low, and then the shorts will start to cover and move it back up.
Tilray's at 168.33, up 8.6% now. T-God still up 52 cents to 8.23.
Huge is still halted.
Chronos is still up. But look at everything else, red. Red, I said. The Juju, 28.5. You still long the Juju, Ed? I am.
No, I extricated a long time ago.
No,
but
I'm still long the Juju. I think it's still going to do some great things. I mean, assuming that the whole market's not going to go into free fall
assuming there's a
sell-off.
market left. But
That's
I mean,
just it.
this is serious.
This is a historic moment.
Yeah, today Tilray. Look at us flying now.
See,
No, you
Ed?
know what? I'm going to take a look here because
See,
I bet
Ed,
you that's
look
not.
at this. Did we predict a down day today? Did we?
Well,
when you see the microphones pointing downward, you can bet you there's going to be blood
That's right. That
running in the
168
streets.
is an accurate number here on Tilray, according to my sources. But I think it's halted.
Tilray?
Yeah, well, they pull these circuit breakers at
The most inopportune times.
Yeah.
Well, if we go to the chart here, let's go look at the advanced chart again on Tilray. So, yeah, so Canopy is still down 446 or 6.62% to 62.96. Tilray is still in the upward mobility mode. And
Oh, wow, look at that candle. Talk about, you know, when you're outside the band, there you go. There's your outside the band. And then what happens is we go back inside the band for a while and we rally again.
I guess.
But you know, look at the RSI today was 88.88 on the Tilray at one point.
Yeah. Well, that's algorithmic, runaway algorithmic
Mayhem.
exuberance.
How about mayhem?
Mayhem.
AM, algorithmic
I think that was
mayhem.
more like predation. Algorithmic predation. No, an algorithmic full frontal assault that could only be reversed by circuit breakers. I guess that's,
Yeah.
you know, don't you think that sort of indicates to you that we've got way too much algorithmic involvement in the market environment? Brendan Colwell, who is our fellow host on Follow the Money, made a good point. He said the invisible hand, the economy is now gone. It's been replaced by the algorithm, which is a good point.
Yeah, I don't know why this Tilray isn't trading, the price isn't moving. Something's not right.
Something's not right with the price of tea in China.
Yeah, this thing is frozen.
Well, let's see what the news says.
Yeah.
Tilray, wild trading leads to halts.
Market talk, yeah. It's got to be halted.
So, shares of
Tilray
Tilray
stock
turned
halted
volatile.
4 times. Okay,
Yeah,
there
we go. Halted 4 times. Well, you know, that's the beginning of, again, look at that. Incredible. Surged as much as 94%. So it's halted again. That's what's happening. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's just. So I guess the regulator is sending out the message that enough's enough, boys. The party's over. Everybody back on your heads.
Katie bar the door?
Katie bar the door. No, that's for the upward exuberance.
Look at Afria.
phase.
Yeah. Afria seems to be trading with...
So isn't that interesting, though? Tilray has now come to be the flagship of the cannabis sector by virtue of the fact that it's got this crazy-ass price that trips circuit breakers in the U.S. exchange. This used to be Canopy's role. Now, the interesting thing to me is that Canopy is still by far the dominant player in the cannabis space globally. I mean, compared to where Tilray's at, as best we can tell. So it's interesting to me that this algorithmic anomaly has caused a reversal in the roles of the largest cannabis companies. Unprecedented. Unfreaking precedented.
Right.
So let's go over and see how our audience is responding to all of this. So there's 121 people, Ron. Elf Gaudet, 168.33 RBC quote. Yeah. I feel like I took a hard lesson from AUSA and will be holding off on the RIV front for now, laugh out loud. Well, RIV is no AUSA because AUSA has, you know, what they got a couple of deals in process, but they don't really have a portfolio of assets that are actively being managed.
Right.
So I don't think it's a good idea to compare Canopy Rivers to Australis.
Yeah, well, although look, the problem is how do you value things that are, how can you value Tilray if it goes from, $120 the other day up to $300 today and back to 160? I don't know. Like, can you say what's a good number?
Well, you know what?
I'm sure there'll be another crazy day here soon.
Maybe
tomorrow.
If Tilray did not exist and only Canopy was the most exuberant stock out there,
right?
And with its having broken $70 today, is it worth $70? Is any stock worth $70 in the cannabis sector? Certainly, I think we can categorically say that Tilray is not worth $250, even though that is the price.
Sure.
So Max PT27 says, talk about Juju!
Yeah.
So what can we say about Juju today? We really have had no update from Juju since earlier this week. They are in the process of organizing some things. We know this.
Okay, now Tilray looks like it's going to come back here about 162. That's a live quote. Yeah, Juju. I mean, look, the thing was 9 cents here. We saw it go to 39. Now, have they made any announcements lately?
Nope, there's been no announcement since the announcement of the restructuring where they canceled a whole bunch of the pref shares. So they didn't cancel all of them, and some players still have some, but there are apparently escrow agreements in place that stop the insiders from selling. So if we look at the
you just wonder with all this selling if overnight everyone's going to come back in and run this back up tomorrow morning.
There was a exempt marketing document filed last night that I haven't seen yet. Let's take a look at that. Please, what? Oh, not this
Now,
one.
and I'd like to know what's the volume on the Juju here, because sometimes you can sort of, I still show 28 to a half, so it's holding in there on 11 million. But I think the volume yesterday was 13 million, so almost the same. Yeah, no, look at. This is probably a good enough correction. I mean, maybe now you step in. But nobody wants to step in, so isn't that the time to step in?
Not unless you want to step in front of a freight train.
What do I always say? Never piss in front of a hurricane? Never piss into a hurricane?
Never pee into a hurricane. Never try to catch the falling knife.
Pee sounds a lot more
Vulgar?
friendly than piss.
Piss sounds a little bit vulgar, Ed.
Piss sounds like, hey.
Full of piss and vinegar. So there's a document filed that for some reason I can't open here.
Oh, it's one of those yeah.
See if I can put it on.
Have we got anybody else, any more interviews coming on?
Yes, we do. We have Cory Corrubia, and he is at, he's with the Weekend Unlimited, which is the latest iteration.
And you're gonna find out some things. Look at this, 196 now on Tilray.
Yeah, it's just flying back up.
Just flying.
Yeah. Anyways, here's your interview with Cory Corrubia. Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest in this segment is Cory Corrubia. He is the CEO of Weekend Unlimited, a company that's still private, but not for long, right, Cory?
Yes, James.
Yeah,
hey, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. What's the status? What's the story with the Weekend?
So as far as going public, we're waiting for that phone call anytime from the exchange, and then should be about a week thereafter.
Perfect. Perfect. And you guys have been building the company. What's been going on?
It's probably for the past year. As we said, it's been private. We started with an acquisition in Washington State. Have 7 acres, I-502 zoned. Working farm with 2 tenants on it, 2 Tier 3 tenants, which is the largest license you can have in Washington. We then went and made an acquisition of Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker makes bongs. He was just recently on CNN, and he's getting a lot of press. He made the world's largest bong, so we're getting a lot of press from that and a few other things that he's done. He's been on the cover of Dope magazine, and we're getting a lot of press and coverage from that. We also made an energy drink purchase, which is Verve energy drink.
Okay.
And it comes with Champs CBD drink. It's the official drink of the San Jose Sharks.
Oh.
So
wow.
Yeah, we'll be coming out with that shortly.
Wow, that's great.
And a relaunch of that.
So the Weekend is a brand sort of conglomerate?
Yeah, lifestyle brand. We've been looking to acquire brands that are maybe not struggling, but they have a revenue in one state, for example, California, and they need capital to roll out to other states. We just made an acquisition of Canna Candies, which is has about 35% of the hard candy market in Southern California. So we'll be rolling them out. They just got a contract with a major chain, similar to a 7-Eleven, but not. So we're excited about that. But most excited, we just made an acquisition of a Jamaican project, which I think you're familiar with.
Right. Let's talk about that for a bit, because I'm actually going to come down and see that tomorrow.
All right, great.
And so I'm really excited about that. Now, this is a farm that's already producing a lot of cannabis?
Yeah, so they're in production. They had one turn of an outdoor crop.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cannabis cafe where tourists and visitors can come. They can get their medical card there. We'll have a little doctor on site. They can have lunch. Sample the products, but more importantly, where the revenue is going to come from is we have the 10-acre greenhouse there, the large outdoor grow. I think we have up to over 5 acres, and it's going to turn out to be a lot larger, the outdoor grow. And we also purchased a 44,000 square foot building not far from the grow to do all the extraction and processing. So it's going to be more of an export play. I think we'll do pretty well with the tourists, but the real revenue will come from the export.
Sure. So growing cannabis outside in Jamaica is a lot different than growing cannabis outside in Canada, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
they haven't figured out, though, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So they can grow premium flower outdoors easily.
Yes. Yeah. Much cheaper, obviously.
I'm looking forward to actually firsthand sampling that. So then, company's going to go public. You got operations in Jamaica, Washington, California. Is that what the whole program is? Is acquire?
Yeah, acquire brands, roll them out, ramp them up, and just have that family of brands. And also we have another piece of the business, which is Weekend Unlimited Live, and that's going to be, we're going to put on live events. We have a lot of celebrities involved, famous DJs. We're going to be putting on live events, and that's going to build out our, I think, our Instagram following.
Sure.
And that'll carry forward and help us sell, increase sales in the brands that we're acquiring.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so then the company was funded when?
I think we closed about Q1.
Q1.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty quickly moving story.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
And so, how much money do you have post going public to continue the acquisition?
We still have these $6 or $8 million in the bank.
Right.
We were going to wait till it goes public. Like I said, it should be any day. We're going to do another raise of about 20 quickly here at a higher valuation.
Huh.
So
very interesting. Tell me about your background. How did you come to be involved with the company?
I was a market maker in the States. And I used a lot of my accounts were here in Canada at BMO and Canaccord, and I just kept those contacts. And when the cannabis heated up, I was doing deals privately myself in the States, and I hooked up with my friend David Stadnick and George Stadnick Partners, and they had just come off 2 winners at Supreme Pharma and TGIF.
Right.
So this is a follow-up to those 2 successes that Stadnick Partners and Canaccord and everyone else that helped with those deals had.
Sure, so that's not the first rodeo for this team.
No,
well, that's great. Well, that makes it a sort of a premium opportunity in my view, and that's why, full disclosure, we are shareholders in one of the financings, I'm sure, and probably will be in the subsequent ones as well. Okay, so then is there any jurisdiction in addition to the ones that you're in here that you're considering or contemplating?
Looking at Massachusetts and New Jersey. New Jersey's, I think, is going to be a good one. We have an option on a large asset there, but depending on what happens with legalization and going recreational in the near future, we'll make that determination. But I think Massachusetts will be another market we move into shortly.
Cool. And the export rules in Jamaica, are they in place yet, or are they under development?
They have it, but it's different with every partner on the other side. But yes,
oh, great.
We have the right group and right attorneys that handle that. So.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to watch with interest. Good luck on your go public, and we'll come back to you in a quarter's time or so and keep the conversation going. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, James.
Now what, Ed? Tilray up, what, 60% in 5 minutes? Like, that's just incredible.
It just went from $1. They halted it. Every time they halt it, you should reverse, right? 218 now.
Well, that's just it. Are they going to halt it again?
I think they'll probably grind it a bit higher.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put up my NDI again so that we can see what's going on here.
I mean, how would you feel if you bought yourself a couple thousand shares of AUSA today at 15 and now it's 3? How would you feel?
Well, how would you like to be the how would you like to be the $16 buy? You'd feel like a complete moron. Or you're
pretty hard to
angry at the market for not getting
pretty
it.
hard to walk around like this after you'd
Yeah, exactly.
The word emasculate comes to mind.
Well, I think of the dog, they call it scooting, when the dog drags its ass across the floor.
In homage to the bigger dog.
That's right. Yeah, incredible. Incredible what's happening in the market today, Ed. Okay, so let's...
Okay, so let's agree.
Let's watch Tilray for a second, shall we?
Could this be...
watch this. Ready?
Okay, let's...
Oh, it's halted again.
Halted again.
Look at that. Frozen. The regulator is trying to say,
Bad Tilray, stop going up now. You go back downstairs. Bad Tilray.
and I guess like they're just going to keep whacking it and halting it until the algos go piss off, aren't they? That's what's going to happen here. This is the market. This is the market and the algos having a fight right before our eyes. I love it.
Sounds like, Jesus, this I got to tell you, I haven't had much. You know what? I've decided, just so everybody knows, that my whole day now is wrapped around this show because, boy, I've learned a lot. You know what I've learned? I've learned that I know nothing, and I still know nothing.
Well, Ed, I think that there's still another level to go.
Oh, I think so.
You need to learn that you know less than nothing.
Well, I think our friend Socrates said, I know one thing, I know nothing.
I know no thing.
I know no thing.
Is that not a double negative? I know no thing? Oh, it depends.
I know
The first no is
no
KNOW. The second no. Okay, I'm going to fire up our YouTube channel here. Let's see what our audience has to say about the action in the market right now.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty extraordinary. Dave got 30 at 11:50 this morning. Grrr. 50 at 11:50. I think he must be talking about Aurora. No, they're talking about something else. I don't know what. What are you guys talking about on there? T-God. System Deadlock says T-God. What? No, I don't think Canopy Growth has dividend RIV shares. Did they? No, I don't think they did.
No, I think that's coming.
You think that's coming?
Well, look at this. Golden Ridge Resources up a penny.
Who cares about mining, Ed?
What?
Golden Ridge Resources up a penny.
It's the old bait and switch.
I see.
Bait and switch.
I see. I'm going to stick with the bait.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, what time's your flight tomorrow there?
Flight leaves at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
You have to be at the airport by 10 a.m. for
nice
check-in.
jet. Are you going to be ready to talk to me at 3 o'clock? Like, what am I going to
Well, I think that the plane...
Probably not.
I'm probably going to dial in as the plane lands, because there's going to be a lot of celebrating on this plane. It might not be advisable for me to check in with the show tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but they were very clear about the idea that there will be libations available on the plane.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure once we get into Jamaican airspace, there might be some other things too. Though maybe there's no smoking on the plane. Vaping. But bringing marijuana to Jamaica doesn't strike me as the smartest move.
Well,
I bet you they don't search your bags for people bringing in weed.
I remember going there as a youth with a friend, and they were selling drugs to him right at the airport. He was competing to get his bag, and they were coming up to him, selling everything, whatever you want, right in the airport.
No.
Pretty open-minded.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, yeah. I mean, there's really no point in even looking at the market technically at this point, is there, Ed? Because
I think you have to say
we're characterized right now by extraordinary events. And so technical analysis...
I know, but you know what? But you'll look back and you'll probably say the market peaked today in Tilray.
Well, again, I want to go back and look at that, because this is exactly what's going to happen, because the last time the cannabis complex took off in that direction, this happened. So I'm going to pull up weed, because this is the best example. We go back to, let's go charts advanced. And do I have my NDI up? No, I don't. Okay, so we need to get to the, I do. That's interesting.
Now what's that? That's Canopy Growth.
This is Canopy Growth. So now we'll pull it out to the 5-year look. And again, zeroing in on this day here, I'm going to, that right there. See that?
Yeah.
That is the first time the circuit breakers were brought to bear on the cannabis market. And look what happened. It catalyzed a lot of sideways movement. So this is what's going to happen. This could be, again, the resumption. Because remember, before that Constellation deal happened, everybody was doom and gloom about the cannabis space, because nothing was moving, everything was sideways, and people were actually predicting it would go lower. Then Canopy comes along with this Constellation deal and invigorates the entire marketplace. And
did you draw that circle in there?
I sure did, Ed.
How'd you do that?
I used my tools on my...
You used your tool?
QuoteStream Pro. See that, that computer we got for you, Ed? That's got these tools on it. If you had that computer,
I've got that computer. I just don't know how to use it.
Well, this is the thing. We've got to bring a tutorial in for Ed.
Yeah, did you say that a tutorial comes with the package?
Yes, but you have to go to the Microsoft Store.
I don't mind.
Center. Okay, well, go.
Okay,
go.
I'm out of here.
No, in half an hour you should go.
Okay, go in half an hour.
All right.
Oh, well, be more specific, please.
Now, today, Ed, we have a very special presentation from Justin B. Marshall, our West Coast correspondent. You know what today is? Today is Justin's personal farm.
Personal farm?
Justin B. Marshall, our Southwest Coast correspondent, has his own marijuana farm. And today we're going to look at that.
Right after the market closes in 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Close. Wow, that's Farmer in the Dell.
There we go.
Play with my
Hi-ho the dairy, oh the farmer. That's just crazy. We aren't going there, Ed.
Farmer in the
So
Dell.
there's the damage for the day. Aurora Cannabis down 15 cents, closed at 10.87. Let's pull up some other ones here. Let's look at the big cannabis companies here. We'll bring up the portfolio manager. All right, so to close the day, Afria lost $1.52, closed at 19.28. Kronos Group was up, Ed. Kronos Group.
Yeah, Kronos
Stay
Group.
with us, Ed. Kronos is up. Tilray finished up 214, up $60, 38.12%.
Wow, this was an epic day, wasn't it?
Well, this was one for the record books. But T-God ended up closing up 11.28%.
T-God had a big day. T-God had a big day.
No news, up 87 cents to 8.58.
You know what was starting to rally at, I noticed, was...
The Juju.
Really?
Yes, Ed. Really?
What about XLY? It was down all day, and it started moving it towards the end of the day. You know what? You know these things just don't end that quickly. I got a funny feeling we're going to see action tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the...
You won't be here.
You're on your own tomorrow, Ed. That's all right.
I think what I'm going to do is camp right underneath this table.
Let's see what happened. There's Juju today. So kind of drifting a little bit.
I kind of like this. Again, I'd like to see this where you get this. You get a knockdown here, then you get the big rally. You've heard of the big valley?
This is the big rally.
Big rally.
Ferrari. You need some talking powder there, Ed.
What's talking powder?
Bolivian conversational musk.
I don't know. Musk ox.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to try to, let's see. Riv's private placement was set at $3.50. Yes, that is true. No, their last private placement was $3.50. Blood in the street. Yes, that's a good point. Lots of blood in the street. Does anybody have a Riv open price they predict? I'll predict $3.50. What's your prediction, Edward?
On which one?
Canopy Rivers.
Oh, I don't. What's it coming out at?
Well, that's what he's asking. The last financing was done at $3.50 a share. 4? Okay, Fraser's saying 4.
I'll say 3 1/4.
3 1/4.
I think it'll come out at a slight discount.
I'll say $3.50. No, I say they're going to start it right at the last price. Because if you're smart, you don't try to start it higher than the last price because it's only going to bounce on the last price.
I know, but you know what? Remember when G-Tech came out? It came out at $1. They did it at $1.50, traded at $1.40, and then plummeted.
Yeah.
But they've pulled that back from out of the... look at MedMen.
Oh, Dave, one of our watchers, Dave, said that he bought 30 shares of AUSA at $11.50. So he's not too happy about that. Well, we feel your pain, Dave.
30 shares?
30 shares. You might be able to average down on that tomorrow.
Pick up maybe pick up another 30 shares at $3.
Well, it's let's go back to the price action today on Australia.
I guess what we've learned today is that not only do they go up, they also can go down.
I didn't just learn that today, Ed.
Now, you've cut your teeth.
I'm from the .com era, remember?
I've cut my teeth more than once.
AUSA. Let's take a look at the intraday.
This makes me want to go out and get a chocolate milkshake.
A chocolate milkshake? Why would you want that?
Oh, my way of saying I give.
Here's the intraday chart for AUSA. Look at that, Ed.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's see that. Let's see.
Look at this. So generally, I would say this day was characterized by an abdication of faith. Opened at $10, touched a high of $16 right after the open.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day was a slow drift into anonymity and purgatory. And there it was, the small recovery.
You know what? That chart doesn't look like there's been a lot of movement. It looks like, it started off, and this thing really got pounded.
Yeah.
Pummeled.
Beaten.
Now there is a possibility here, and again, for this level here, looks like it never got breached here either.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Does this look like a buy to you for tomorrow
Well,
morning?
it might be, but you can't buy it now. You know.
What are you going to do, Ed? What would you do?
I will say I bought a little stock today.
Did you?
On the close, yeah.
What stock?
This one.
You brought AUSA today?
Yeah, just when I saw it get hammered, I thought.
Oh, well, that might actually turn out to be
then,
your prescient
then when
pick.
you looked into things and you said that this was done, the financing was done in a quarter, made me
rethink things.
Made me swallow. You might say,
Well,
you know what? I
20
needed
cents.
I needed some water.
Yeah.
Because my throat got a little dry.
Right.
Parched.
The idea of
Parched. Paying
20
the idea
cents.
of paying
You paid.
say, I don't even want to tell you what I paid.
Yeah.
You know what? Who's to say?
Who's to say? Could go the other way. You know, I think we've reached out to Scott Dowdy. We've been trying to get a hold of him for quite a while now. He hasn't responded to any emails addressed. Hey, Scott, if you're listening, you should come on our show and talk to the people. Just saying.
I'm a people.
As Ed would say,
I'm a
just
people.
saying.
Just
and
saying.
if you come tomorrow, you'll be lucky. You'll be one-on-one with the unrivaled talent, Edward Milewski. Ed, what's your middle name?
Scissorhands.
Your middle name is Scissorhands?
Wait a minute.
Oh,
no. You want a haircut?
No, thank you. I've seen. Have you cut your own hair?
You know, for a haircut that it's nice and I cut my own hair.
Do you really? I can tell. Well, if you had scissors.
On air, I cut my hair.
On air, you cut your hair over there?
Over here.
We descended into silliness yesterday with the hair and there and over where. You know, we
over here, over there.
Over there, over
hair
there.
Everywhere.
Hair.
Oh! What if I just took these weapons and I just went over and I did a little chop.
No.
I put my name on the back of your head, Ed.
Then I would take this microphone, I would turn it into a suppository, and I would jam it up your bum. That's what I would do.
Jesus.
I know. So
you better give me a glass of rum.
Glass of rum while I jam it up your bum?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the humor in this thing is like so pedestrian.
Oh.
It's embarrassing. Like, what are we, 2?
Hey.
What are we, in school?
Jamaica man.
Yeah, Jamaica man.
We are rum people.
Well, tomorrow I'll be back in high school.
You'll be rum people.
I'll be in high school.
What's the rum people?
High school.
What kind of rum is rum people?
What?
What kind of rum is rum people?
Rum, fellow, hail, hearty, well met.
We are rum people.
Rum people. Rum is an expression meaning what? Healthy? Witty, funny, careful, friendly, talkative, oblivious.
Rumming at the mouth.
What was the rumming? Well, that's what we do every day. What was that term that you had, the new word of the day yesterday, Ed?
Ultrasepidarian.
Ultrasepidarian, which means know-it-all.
Means, you know what, you sort of have an area of expertise and you've said, you know what, because I know so much over here, I probably know the same amount over here, but you don't know anything over here.
Right.
Like usually like your mother-in-law.
Well, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah, you are.
But I don't have any expertise anywhere.
No, you don't. Yeah, no.
No, just kidding.
You know what?
Where's our expertise? What would you categorize as our expertise besides just...
jack of all trade, master of none.
Master what?
Master of none.
Okay, right, good. That
master...
had me worried about your profession for a moment there. But like this is great, high school humor.
High school.
So I'm going to look at this, and I'm actually going to throw a bid in for AUSA tomorrow, just a little one to play it.
Like, what if it opens at $1? Are you still going to go ahead? Probably, even more so.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in a bid, then I'm going to get on a plane for 4.5 hours where there's no internet.
No, they have. On those private jets, they have internet.
Some of them do. Some of them don't.
Hey, you think Stadnik's going to travel without any
In a net-free jet, it won't be a net jet.
wheels up?
No, I don't.
You know what? I want you to watch them, and when you guys are sitting there, I want you to see if he gives the command. Wheels up. Because I think he might.
Well, do you think Dave will be flying the plane? Dave and George up there
No,
in the
but
front of the plane.
George Safala.
Yeah, George Safala.
I like George.
George and Cody maybe will be flying. Mr. Stadnik will be conducting the choir in the back of the plane.
I told George one of my lines at PDAC, and I said something to the effect that, it's all bullshit. And every time I see him, he said, "Hey, Ed, how's it going?" I said, yeah, I know. It's all bullshit. I like George.
My favorite thing about, my favorite saying from Dave Stadnik, and very funny story how I met Dave. We're not going to go there right now, but Dave says to me, he says, I don't understand why people in this market don't get along better. We're all so stupid. We should all just try to help each other. I thought that was a pretty rum comment from Mr. Stadnik. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's trip.
I enjoy being around him. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's a character.
He's a character.
They broke the mold when they
broke the mold. That's going to be a fun
They
trip.
had two molds. They had one mold for you and one mold for him, and they broke them both.
I see. Well, let's look up Supreme while we're talking about that.
Here's what I want to do.
David Stadnik's last great claim to fame.
Fire.
No, was not fire. It was Friday nights. But we're going to start looking at fire. So I'm going to show you this chart. Now, this is how I met Dave Stadnik. I was talking.
Have you known him for a long time?
Oh, I've known him for at least 3 years, because when I was doing the BNN thing, somebody said to me, "Why do you always talk positive about companies? You never go negative." And I said, "Well, that's a good point, but it's usually because I followed my mother's advice. If you don't have something nice to say about somebody, shut up." So then, but incrementally, I was inclined to find a company to not talk favorably about, and it was Supreme Pharma. And I didn't know the Stadniks at the time, but I put out a piece saying, "Look at this financing. This is egregious. This is outrageous. This thing's going nowhere." And Dave reaches out to me and I had a cannabis conference in 2013 in Toronto, and he comes to me and says, "We don't really think you understand the company because you really came out against us." And it was very embarrassing because this guy shows up at my conference and confronts me face to face, but he wasn't confrontational. He was very friendly. And so I was just like, I'm impressed with a guy who just comes to your conference to set you straight on something. And he explains what he's doing, and I'm like, well, okay, I understand it, but I wasn't convinced. Well, there's the chart. There's the chart on Supreme.
Yeah.
Right here is where I was telling people that I thought this was a go nothing, be nothing deal.
Good move.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Yeah.
Smart me.
$1.09.
Was I wrong?
Yep.
Yep. Am I still wrong?
You know what? That's the day I met his son.
Yeah.
Was at the CSC party, and you and I were there.
Right.
And Zach walked in, and I just met his dad a little bit earlier.
Yep.
And so there you go.
We met the whole family one day.
Full circle.
Yeah, so that started life as a Stadnik Partners transaction. Now, TGIF is another one from the same, wants to have the CNX in there. TGIF is another one from the same group. Look at that chart. Does that look familiar to you? This is kind of like the Stadnik MO. They always come out swinging, and look at that. Like that's 19 cents to $1.40, call it.
Yeah.
In the space of 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
That's serious wealth generation. So the weekend is the company.
Hence flying in a private jet.
Hence flying in a private jet. So the weekend is number 3 coming out.
Yeah, he lives in Toronto a lot now, doesn't he?
I don't see him around the city much. I don't think so. I think he's mostly spending time in Vancouver, New York, and I know he's pals with the royal family over in Africa.
Morocco.
Morocco, yes. So anyway,
you can't look
Cody's,
at the Prince of Morocco in the eye. You're
Really?
not allowed to, eh?
So their third deal is the Weekend Unlimited, and it's going to start trading next week. Did you get into any of that?
I think they lost my phone number.
No.
Yeah. No, it's not their fault. It's my fault.
Well, so the Weekend is going to start trading next week. So tomorrow, people, I will be communicating with Edward here from Jamaica on our show, and we are going to be looking at the Jamaican assets of the Weekend. But the Weekend's going to start trading next week. We own the stock, full disclosure, not to be trusted, etc. But I think you should take a look at this because, as I said, there's the chart from their last deal, TGIF, and this is the chart from the deal before that. Come on, computer. Supreme Pharma. It's like so winners.
Yeah. No, but those are in the marijuana space. But he saw some others too. There was one in the biomedical space, I believe.
Don't know anything about that one. I only follow the things he's doing in cannabis. But also tomorrow, Northbud Capital starts trading under the symbol NBUD on the CSE, and that is one that I don't own, but my intention is to try to play it in the market. It's only got 20 million shares out, average cost basis of 20 cents. So it's expected to start trading at 20 cents, I think was the word. And if you don't know who Northbud is, you can Google or you can search for Northbud on the Midas Letter website, and we have a video interview there with Ryan Brown, the CEO, or you can head over to the Facebook page of the Follow the Money Investor Group. They had Ryan Brown on during their show today, and that's still, you can go watch that over on, well, actually, I think you can watch it on YouTube, on our Facebook, on their Facebook, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's here, I'm there, I'm everywhere.
So that's exciting. What else? What else is happening?
So when are you coming back from
Jamaica? Saturday afternoon. Just a 2-dayer. We're just going
2
down.
nights?
2 nights, yeah.
Now, because I guess you guys are sort of real he-men, and you probably don't really need like place to sleep. You probably just stay up the whole time.
Stay up the whole time.
Well, you guys should stay right on the plane, right?
Well, no, I don't think so, Ed. I think there's a hotel
I heard
involved.
there was bunk beds on the plane.
No, definitely not. You know, it's only like a 2.5-hour, 3-hour trip by private jet.
What kind of jet is it?
Fast.
Fast one.
Fast jet. Yeah. Well, no, because the itinerary was really interesting. It was like we were going there. Let's see if I pull this up. Actually, I just want to leave that.
Just say hi to say David. Did you forget Ed's phone number? Just out of curiosity. I guess you probably said, "Well, we don't both need to go." So
I'll go, and don't bother calling Ed.
Don't bother.
No, actually,
he's going to be running the show.
You know, a big
he needs practice.
An expensive seat like that. You know, you can't say like I actually in my cups last night. I was with David Eaton from Vancouver, and I actually texted them and said, "Hey, is there any way to get David Eaton on this flight?"
And you got back.
Well, they got back. Well, it's kind of full, and
it's none of your
there's not really any more room. And where the hell do you get your nerve, son? Is probably what they were thinking.
So you're telling me you called up to get David Eaton on now, but you never called up to see if you could get Ed the Head on.
Well, or my partner, which is really going to cause some problems.
Yeah.
But no, because I was with David, and David and I had a mutual friend pass away a while ago, and so we got into talking about that. And
right.
So we relived a lot of episodes last night of our past life with our unfortunately passed away friend, who was actually Aaron Bick, the host of the Wine Online show that we were doing here, which obviously is not going to be happening anytime, probably ever again.
You know what? It's tough. Look at this, 29.5, 30 on the Juju. That's nice.
Squirrel.
you know, I think it's good to remind. You know, there are great times. There are times that aren't so great. At the end of the day, for each one of us, time seems to be limited.
In the best of times,
you know,
in the worst of times.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Okay. here's the report that was filed on the CDAR site today that I finally downloaded and got. So what's going on here? They're filing an exempt financing, Canadian dollars. Look at that. Oh, so this is a financing that they've just filed that closed.
Who did?
Oh, look at that. This is the,
Who filed that?
We'll have a talk about that afterwards, Ed, but yeah, it's going to be a hell of a trip tomorrow, and
Was that the one where you're going to visit tomorrow?
no, Juju.
That was Juju?
That was Juju. They filed a 7.5 cent financing document
Really?
yesterday. A little bit odd. Anyways, that's going to be a great day. So you're going to be here tomorrow.
I'm going to be here, and I'm just wondering.
Who are you going to talk to? Plato?
Yeah, Plato. Plato and I are going to have a little. We're going to get
session?
together. Yeah,
You're going to have a chat?
I'm going to see if I can get some more brain pus out of his head.
It'll be
and smear it up. Maybe use it as sort of as lard for my hair.
a hair gel or a
So
stimulant.
This cowlick.
Hair food.
I want to get rid of this cowlick.
Cowlick. I think you're.
You ever go out on you ever been on a dairy farm or a farm with some cattle and
Yeah.
you go out there and you find that old salt block and you just go down there and have a good lick?
Do I have a good lick of the salt block?
You know, there's the salt block for the cattle.
Yes. The
And,
cows lick it.
And once in a while you're out there, maybe you're playing baseball and you're sliding around, maybe you landed in a cow chip, fresh one.
Cow
And you
pie.
thought, you know what?
Cow pie?
I'm dry cow pie. And you think, you know what? I wouldn't mind a little salt. And they think, what? And you look over and there's the salt block. You just walk over there, you get down and you
Lick it.
push that cow aside and say, hey, it's my turn.
No, Ed.
And he goes, ooh.
That is the noise that cows make, Ed. But no, to answer your rather long-winded and somewhat demented question, I do not push cows aside and lick their salt.
I was playing.
Do you
I was
do that, Ed?
playing,
That's what I want to know.
I did it.
You
yeah.
do. You
I
did
it. Down the road. And
Is that like
furthermore,
the-
I'll tell you what else we did. We
Is
were
that the
playing
cow tipping
We were
sport?
playing baseball.
Yeah.
And
But wait, we're not done with the cow. Did you tip the cow over?
no, sir. No.
So that's different.
No. I milked the cow.
You milk the cow. So you're also playing hockey.
But I'll tell
Let's
you
leave
what
the
I did.
cow alone for now.
So I went and retrieved the bat because someone just nobody knew but the bat landed in a fresh cow
Patty.
turd.
Cow pie.
Cow pie. And I thought, well, you know what? I'll get to play a little trick on this person. So I took the bat and I just made sure there was a nice coating of cow shit all along the bat handle. And I said, hey, Rosie, and her name was Rosie Murphy, little Rosie. I said, Rosie, it's your turn. Here's the bat. So she grabbed it with two hands. Well, guess what she grabbed?
What?
Cow shit.
Oh.
Lots
So
of it,
the
too.
conversation has gone wild since we looked at that CEDAR document. So what that was a CEDAR filing for a financing that was previously done at 7.5 cents. So you're all right about that. And this guy says he got quiet about Juju because it's seemingly bad news. Well, I wasn't quiet because I consider it bad news because they've done filings, they've done financing
they
at
gotta
5
file,
and
they gotta
7
file,
cents.
yeah.
And they have a trickle-out agreement in place with the investor who did those filings. So I was wondering, my quietness was due to a attempt to understand whether that document was referencing that financing or was this another 7.5 cent financing. It's not, it's clearly one of the old financings. And they are, Four Apples says, Ed sure is a strange pup. Boy, I'll say you have no idea. You should see him. You should see him off camera. Whoa!
Well,
Glenn Treef says, "Please start drinking again, Ed." Hey, he's got a point there. When you're drinking, you might not be as energetic and thoughtful, but you make a lot more sense.
Yeah. Good to know.
Your stories are better.
Good to know.
Your stories are better when you're drinking.
No, I seem to get more detached as I
Look at
don't drink.
Glenn Treef says juju is poo-poo. Now, Glenn, he just retracted that message. Now, Glenn,
Well,
there's no need to reduce to scatology.
Scatology, there's a good one.
And any investment in which we have a holding. Full disclosure, I have
excrement.
lots
Scatology.
of shares at an average price that is close to today's. But so, Ed, you don't have shares, but
No,
so that's.
I was hoping to, reload the truck here, and I think I might, but
Keystone Records says, betcha Juju never on the show again. I wouldn't say that. Now here's the thing. Before you all get too crazy here,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that we are watching Juju because they have made some great representations. It's why we bought the stock, is because we think they might be credible in their representations. Now, having built a position, we're going to need a little execution on the part of management, and that's what we're waiting to see. And they should probably start executing very quickly. So we don't have a negative opinion about Juju at this point. We are neutral, or I shouldn't say neutral, we're long, hardly neutral, and we're waiting to see stuff happen. Dave says, James, what bar in Jamaica?
Rick's Cafe.
Rick's Cafe.
That's where you want to go.
Well,
If you go to Rick's Cafe and you come
I'm
out...
not driving the bus. Tomorrow I go where I'm told, or dragged, thither,
Yeah.
I go.
Yeah.
I go and I don't ask. I say, can I get another one of these? And pass me that. Maybe, I don't know. It's the problem with Jamaican weed is it can be so potent that you're like...
I never thought that. I always thought that the most potent weed was from Vancouver. The most potent weed, once in a while I visit my friend in Vancouver, and he gives me what they call a one-hitter.
Yeah.
One hit. He said,
Yeah.
now don't take two. Of course, I have to take two, and I'm thinking,
Why did I do that?
why did I do that?
Now I need to go sit in a room. Yeah, no, well, actually...
So that's laden with THC when you get that buzzy thing, right?
THC is the headstone, yes.
And Body Stone is CBD.
No, Body Stone's THC too. But
Well,
the Body Stone is, CBD has a more physical effect, but it generally doesn't manifest itself as a cerebral experience.
What makes
However,
you hungry?
THCV, I think, or THCA, I don't know. Ask one of those guys. The thing I can tell you about CBD is there is no psychoactive effect under a certain amount. But as I've been experimenting with this stuff lately, I drank a bottle of 1,000 milligrams to myself entirely, and then I came to work. And that day,
I wasn't here.
You weren't here.
No, I was here, but you didn't see me because you were so...
No, you weren't here. Because
No, I was here.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I wasn't here. I was here.
No.
You didn't see me
No.
because you were under the desk.
No, I was. But there was only a 40-minute show that day.
Ah.
Because I was not, to put it mildly, I was not in a talkative mood, thanks to being practically OD'd on CBD. So when people say there's no psychotropic effect from CBD, depends on the dosage. There is a dosage threshold over which there is definitely a psychological enhancement that I would not call exactly euphoric. It's kind of rattles the cage a bit. So,
Yeah.
Ed, you've just been invited to visit Ryan Jorgensen in Vancouver. Visit me when you visit your Vancouver friend, he says.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jerk chicken for the munchies, the main man is suggesting for the trip down there. I think we better give some love.
Or is that chicken for the jerk?
Chicken for the jerk. Well, there's a whole plane load of jerks going down there. They're going to need a lot of chicken.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'd love to meet friendly viewers.
Yeah, okay. Well, tell you what, I'm going to pull up the Facebook page now because we've been negligent in maintaining communication with
when
our
you say
Facebook.
negligent, you mean we've been remiss?
Remiss. Jonathan Jonas, so any last comments on Namaste? No. I have no comments on Namaste at this point.
What's this?
That's the lid for that's my computer case.
Oh, what's it doing down here? I guess it's mine now. Want to buy it off me?
No, it's not yours now.
What do you mean it's not mine now?
It's not yours, Ed. It's mine. Stay away from the computer case.
Okay, dokie.
So over on last comments on Namaste, Jonathan Jonas wants to know, do you have any last comments on Namaste?
Well, you know, I got to tell you, Namaste was sort
Time's up. 4:30, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're going to be back here tomorrow. Ed will be your host. I'll be coming to you from Jamaica, man, and we will have a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of guests on the show.
I'm going to have to maybe pull someone out of the control room just to have someone to talk to, because I think this whole thing with what I find works is that you and I have a banter.
Well,
when you're alone, it's hard to have a banter. You know this as well, don't you?
Well, I have no problem actually talking, because I talk to the audience when I'm here by myself.
Bullshit.
What do you mean bullshit?
Well, we talked about cow shit earlier. Now we're talking about bullshit.
What about horse? You got to be less racist when it comes to your discussion of feces.
But I know one thing: you don't feed horses beans.
Why not?
Did you ever watch that Seinfeld show?
All right, there's our show for today. Tune in tomorrow for more zany market analysis here on the Power Hour. That last 90 minutes. That's how powerful it is. Power Hour. Power Hour.
I'll see you Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.